Welcome to a special bonus episode of Madigan's Pubcast. I've never done this before, but I'm doing it for one of the queens. I can't say I won't do it again, but for right now, this is all you want to know or need to know about Taylor Swift's world tour in Denver. That's where I went. I did not put this on the regular podcast because there was a lot that I thought was very interesting, but I know some of it may not interest the termites that are not into Tay-Tay. Totally understand. But for those of you that are, welcome. And I am drinking out of a Sam's No. 3. It is my favorite diner in Denver. I guess I've never even noticed they have them in Aurora and Glendale. Established 1927. If you ever go to Denver, this is my... Nallen's is the pub I like. John Nallen, he owns it. I went in there. I didn't get to see him that day though. And this pub, this diner, they have breakfast all day long, but they have everything that goes by looks great. And This is not a paid for public announcement. I got to go there twice, so I was very excited about that.
The burger's great.
And the breakfasts are all great, and they have a full bar, so you can have your Bloody Marys, you can have real drinks, you can have beer, whatever you want. Anyway,
Wonderful hot sauce.
So Tay-Tay. Which, by the way, this cutout, well, I think she's taller. I think she's 12 foot tall.
So tall.
I've never seen anyone that tall, really, I think, on a stage. And then she put heels on her. And I mean, but that's another thing I thought about. Like, how can she ever go out? Because even if she went out and she was not a famous person, you're going to notice a 6 foot tall blonde, skinny blonde walking in.
Yeah.
Just because you just look.
Right.
That's why I fly under the radar.
You do.
We're Queen Anita, all the queens are tiny, shorties. Except Cher. Cher.
Yeah.
Everybody else 5'2" or under. Mm-hmm. Anita's my height.
Yeah.
Stevie.
Yeah.
Dolly.
Yeah.
Throw on a hat, scoot around. This one, trapped in fame. Trapped! I have never seen anything like it. And the hotel I was staying at, I won't say which one, I got in late, and then I heard some people on walkie-talkies go, Team activate, 4-9-11-12-194. I'm like, well, what the fuck I thought? Oh, I bet she's saying here. Well, the whole top floor is the Tay-Tay contingent. And let me tell you what, the 2 floors below is the Yankees. Oh! Tay-Tay beat the Yankees. And I know the Yankees were there because somebody delivered somebody's golf clubs to my room. Oh. And then I Googled them. I'm like, oh, I wonder if this is like a famous player. And I didn't know the name, but I Googled it. I'm like, oh, gosh, no, he's like a 59-year-old coaching something. I'm like, boring. I guess I'll call down and give Bob his clubs with no ransom.
I like your earrings.
I have my mirror ball earrings on. None of the children wanted to trade for they wanted to trade for that. They wanted that a lot.
Really?
Yeah. And then I traded. Well, I didn't know that the children do this because I've never been to a Taylor Swift concert. So if you have something on, like my friend Bob had on his mirror ball necklace like that, and one of the children wanted it, and then he's like, well, what are you going to trade me? You just say what you want. You don't get into this long bartering thing, Bob. We are too old to understand this. But that child says, I want that. You say, I want that. You switch and move on because they're going to keep trading. I traded mine away for this bracelet that says John Mayer sucks. But they're nice fans, so there's a smiley face after that. Oh, yeah, well, there were a bunch of Swifties at the Deadhead concert, which my friend Little Dorf went to, and they don't like John Mayer, and they sang Taylor Swift songs the whole time he was trying to sing.
Whoa. Don't piss off the children.
Don't make the children mad.
No.
There were 73,000 people there. She played for 4 hours. I saw some of an opening act. It was fine because we decided to walk. In Denver, great news is if you stay downtown, you can walk to Mile High Stadium. It's a bit of a hike.
Yeah. It's a lot further than I thought it'd be.
Yeah, it's further than I thought, but not undoable. But coming home, you've already been, my friend Bob, like halfway through, he goes, can we sit down? My knees hurt. No, Grandpa, we can't sit down. The children will make fun of us. And by the way, I'm wearing the sweatshirt that I bought at the merch table. And this, for the record, is an extra small. This is what happens when your queen is 7 foot tall.
It's oversized.
This thing, yes, it's oversized, but I mean, if I let it go, it'll go below my knees. Yeah. On her, no. It's very soft, though. It's worth the money. High quality.
Just like
So,
your merch.
just like my merch, I don't chintz out on merch. If you're gonna sell it, it should be worth the money.
So start when you got to Denver. When did you get in?
Well, I got there, and then I went to Sam's, and then Bob and Clark got there, and I told them to wait to eat, to go to Sam's again. And really not a lot of time there. And then then walking over, there was one of those Taylor Swift pop-up stores, and the line went, and then Paddle said you wanted to go in, Bob wanted to go in. So looping back around, it had dwindled. And here's what's amazing to me about these pop-up stores. I don't know if she's getting a cut of this. I don't understand. I don't think so. They just take lines from her songs and put them on shirts. I'm not against it. I just also, I don't know. It seems like people at my shows make their own shirts with my jokes on them, and that makes me laugh. Yeah. But they're not selling them in the lobby.
No. It's kind of weird.
Right? It's a little, I don't know. And then in the pop-up store, it wasn't, they just have giant boxes of T-shirts. So it's like, you could get something different there if that's what the kids want. Yeah. You want something different?
The merch lines were stupid.
I haven't seen this kind of, I thought about it, like in my lifetime. Nobody in my lifetime. The only thing I think is comparable that I've seen video of is the Beatles. Yeah. It's hysteria. It's game changing. It changes the economy of a city. It changes everything everyone's doing. And then the Yankees in town, on top of it, you could totally divide the fans. Like you could walk down the street and go, here for the game, here for Tay-Tay. Here for the game, here for Tay-Tay. It worked out great though. Like my friend Mandy Matney, the podcast person who I accidentally ran into it, and believe me, I didn't run into anyone else I knew. Right. No.
No. And you were drinking matching seltzers.
Oh yeah, drinking these really weird pink lemonade Bud Light seltzers, which I thought, that sounds good. Pink lemonade? No, it was way too sweet. I can't. They need a diet one of that, like sugar and beer. Yeah. Well, sugar and seltzer, I don't know. Anyway, the line to get in, no problem. They have that very well organized. And Denver has Mile High Stadium well organized. Compared to, say, I hate to say it, my home state, Arrowhead Stadium's out in the middle of nowhere. So versus Mile High Stadium's in neighborhoods and there's everything's around it. Once you get out to Arrowhead, you are in that line, you're stuck in that line, and you're in that line leaving. There's no, unless you helicopter out, there's no way out. It's sort of like where the Patriots play. Foxborough. Like, it's out there. It's its own thing out in the middle of nowhere. Well, this one is downtown, kind of like the Bridgestone, except in Nashville, the Bridgestone's more in the city. This is more like just outside of the city. You can walk, you can see it,
it's over the highway. But
you got to go across the highway. They do have a pedestrian deal, and it felt very safe because there's 9 million children. But the children,
they're very polite.
They were so polite, friendly. And I'm just going to point this out. I don't want anybody to say I'm talking about weight and stuff, but there were a lot of chubby girls that felt very confident in their butterfly outfits. That's what I called. I don't know what they're called. There were a lot of butterflies. Ethereal. But I thought, good for them. Like, she gives them such confidence. It's awesome. They have glitter all over their face. I don't see them running around town. You know, usually you go to the nightclubs and it's all the skinny girls. She clearly has spoken to them. And she's proud of it. They're proud of it. Good for them. It would have been nice to see some people of color there. No, it's just not. It's not happening. I saw one African-American dude, and I think he might have been with the crew, like working. I think he had a headset on. I think, at least around his neck. He had a headset that I think he was, maybe not. He could have been somebody's dad. I don't know. But
Talk about Bob and Clark's shirts.
Bob and Clark made shirts that had their names on the back, and it's red baseball shirts for red, and then 13 was their number, and then on the front it said eras, and a lot of young people wanted to get their picture taken with them, and they were like super rock star-y.
Especially with the hairballs.
Yeah, they were Bob was very, very, so was Clark. But at least every 20 minutes, Bob would go, my knees hurt. I'm like, Bob, stop telling me your fucking knees hurt. I said, my feet hurt after first of all, I walked all the way over there, and then I've been on my feet for like 3 hours, and I'm like, I'm sitting here bitching with this, not bitching, but I'm like, my feet hurt, and I have a giant seltzer. I've done nothing but stand there. Taylor's been running around this stage for 3 hours, and then I think work-wise, I always think, I don't want to be Pink right now, or anybody else that could even share that audience, because all of your news and press is getting dwarfed by this. So, because I would think if I was Pink, like Pink flies around. Yeah. I would love to go see Pink. I have been working or whatever. But let's say you plan this bonanza 2-hour, 15-minute show where it's just going to be crazy. You're going to fly around and sing your song. And then you're like, okay, sweet, we got it. It's 2 hours or 20 minutes. And they're like, yeah, well, Taylor's doing 4:15. What? On her own.
And 2 openers.
2 openers. And those kids don't miss it. They were in there for the openers. They know them. They know those words. And they know the words to every single song.
They screamed everything.
But I feel like her songs are what they would say.
Yeah.
Versus my generation, I'm singing words. I have no goddamn idea what they mean. I mean, I could go through, welcome to the Hotel California. Such a lovely place. What? I don't know where that is. Is that real? You're sitting in the Midwest going, is that real? Is there really a hotel? Who cares? We just sang shit that I don't even know what half of Stevie's songs. Then they tell you years later and you're like, oh, I was way off. Right. What? I went searching down the answer, up the stairs and down the hall, not to find an answer. Okay. I don't know what I just sang, but
Cheers.
I know I ran down a hall and I didn't find an answer. Just to hear the white go, wah, wah, call. It just it makes no sense. I don't even know what landslide means, but I like it. But Taylor's songs, these kids are singing those words with emotion. They are screaming them, and they're all self-empowering, and they're all make you confident. It's all, and I'm not going to put up with you. Like, it's all just, whoa, whoa. I'm like, there's a generation coming up that there should be a bunch of people warned that are the same age that don't know Taylor Swift. If one of the Swifties comes, they are not putting up with shit. So when they ask you to take out the trash, do it. When they say, hey, did you get the car washed? Go get it washed, and even if you didn't. Go get her in the rain. Because they are confident, and it's wonderful that she's inspired this whole... But there was also a point where she played like 2 notes on the piano, and I heard... And 73,000 people, they were, I'm like, what was happening? What's happening, Bob? And Bob's like, it's back to December. But all I kept thinking is, my dad used to tell me this story. I don't remember if it was World War I or World War II. 1,000 men walked across the bridge on purpose, in sync, to collapse a bridge. Oh. You can do that. It's some sort of physics thing. And I just kept sitting there thinking, parts of Mile High Stadium are going down too. And I hope it's not the part I'm in. And then from the outside, people had videos of it. It was actually shaking. Yeah. And then she had beams that go into the like pilots, I'm sure, were like, hey, 10-4, what do we got up here? Like, they shot into the sky and lit up the sky. Even, I think if you're not all in on Taylor, it would be a lot. But I'm not. I'm half in. I wanted to.
Even now.
No, I mean, I get it, but I wanted to see the production. I wanted to see the phenomenon. I'm a voyeur, if you will, like the people on Twitter that don't really tweet, but they spy on everybody. This guy was like a spy. Yeah. But the confidence she gives the youngsters, and there were no alcohol lines. They're not drinkers. No. Great, more room for me and Mandy Matney to belly right up there and get another.
There's 12.
Well, a lot of them are very young. Yeah, but there were many in their 20s and their 30s. They flipped the men's rooms to make them women's, but Bob goes, don't go in there. That line's stupid because there's only like 2 stalls and like 50 urinals, and it's gross. Yeah. But it was a nice thought. Yeah. There weren't that many dudes there. I think I owned 2 of them, Bob and Clark.
They had so much fun.
I was responsible for 2 of them. It just, even if you don't even know what she's singing, which would hold true for me for quite a few of the songs. This is why there's Taylor amnesia. There's too much shit going on. Not for me, but I mean, 2 screens. There's screens out in the outfield, what would be called the end zone, and then screens by her, and then the thing comes all the way out. The stage comes out, and then she comes out, and then you forget there's people on stage dancing, and then they follow her. So no matter, you could go to that 10 times and not see. Well, yeah, you're issued a bracelet when you go in, and when it got dark, I saw people's lighting up, so I was shaking mine and banging mine, but that's when you told me it's not your turn. And I'm like, who decides when it's my turn?
Tay-Tay.
And she's like, Tay-Tay does. Tay-Tay decides. And then all of a sudden it would light up, and Bob would go, oh, we're on. And I'm like, okay, what am I supposed to be doing? Hey, well, never. Okay, I got it.
You were very participatory.
I was extremely participatory. Probably till there was a few times. I remember when my younger brother was like 12, like 8th grade. So that would have made me 22. And he was like, can you take me and 2 of my friends to Bruce Springsteen? And it was in St. Louis at the old Checker Dome. And the tickets were not that much. They were totally affordable. Like back then, I don't know, $35 or something. So I said, okay, Bruce Springsteen is fine to me. Fine. I'm not, like my friend Dory, I'm not, following him to the end of the. So is Dorf. Little Dorf's in love with him. Yeah, fangirl. I don't care enough about Bruce either which way. He's fine enough. But I took my brother and his friend, 2 friends. They're in 8th grade. Bruce had played for like 2.5 hours. He's like, are you ready to keep rocking? I'm like, no. It's a school night. It's a Thursday. I want to go home now. I have heard the songs I know. These kids are tired. Even they looked at me like, are we supposed to say, is it rude if we leave? I'm like, fuck no, it's not rude. It's a Thursday. He should know better. This needs to start earlier. So we...
You kept asking me how many more.
Baby, I was born to run. Oh. And I kept thinking, this is going to end, right? Oh, no, it goes in. I mean, you got your money's worth with Bruce. I would give him that. Because back in the day, before anybody else played, well, the dead doesn't know how long they played. Because they're actually dead on stage, I think. I know, Dorf, I don't get it. I do not get it. Well, I forgot that I got sidetracked on that. But the point of that is that I guess I was just amazed that I did think a few times, I'll be honest, okay, this is probably the end. And I did get a little excited. Because I was looking forward to a Cosmo at a bar. And then you said there's another 2 albums. I'm like, what? Albums? Oh, my God.
And there's 2 more eras.
Oh, the eras, God. Yes. And Paddles made a good point. Now somebody else is going to do this. Like Garth will go out and call it the decade. She has set a precedent that you can do a 4-hour show in a stadium, and she can do it for 5 nights in a row. Yep. Tokyo, I looked up the schedule because I'm like, I couldn't do any of that. But I could do hard things for a weekend. Yeah. But, oh, no, Los Angeles coming up, there's 5 or 6. They're all sold out. To do that every night, I don't know how you don't go crazy. I don't know how the lifestyle. I'm proud of her for being 33 or whatever old she is and not 34. Being a crazy person. Cool. Because if you get locked in hotel rooms week after week after week after week and you can't go out, she cannot go out. Now it's like COVID for you, but just you. Yes. And that, like every city I go to, I go everywhere. Yeah. And always have, just wandering wherever the hell I want. Not that I wouldn't be recognized anyway, but if I was, so what? Well, if they hear my voice, they know it's me, if they're a termite. Yeah. And then we have a picture and have a drink, and then I move on. Yeah. And then someone else buys me a drink. It's lovely. It's just Ron always says, Maddie, right now I'm the most famous person in this building. He goes, but when we leave this building, nobody knows who the fuck I am. I'm like, well, you're so enormous. People notice, and you look like Santa Claus and whatever. She hasn't seemingly lost her mind, and I think that's very difficult to do, to not do... She has good friends, yeah. And she gave a donation to the Denver Food Bank, which was like 50 times the amount they'd ever gotten, or something crazy amount.
125 grand, I think.
It'll be enough for 75,000 meals. Yeah. That's wonderful. Yep. So you say good for the children. Yeah. Good for the whole thing. I'm trying to think if there was anything else that was so stand-outish. Even the parking, the politeness of that crowd was extremely noticeable. Because after I drank my 74-ounce Bud Light pink lemonade, Seltzer, and Bob did too. We had to go to the bathroom a lot. And we were in the middle of a row, so not the best situation. But I would have been annoyed with me by hour 3. Well, I tried to wait till there were breaks in the songs. I'm never going to do that to somebody who's mesmerized and screaming the words. It would be like me going, took my love and I took it down. Turned around and I turned around. And I saw my reflection in that snow-covered hills.
It's crazy.
Or the land, and then it goes land, and then they all calm down after a while. They go up, they go down, their energy. We will never, ever, ever. They got really mad on that one. I loved watching the.
Every video you have is shaking because the whole stadium's shaking.
God. Everybody has glitter all over their face. There's glitter flying everywhere. I saw about maybe 20 in my area, and I didn't go all the way around the stadium at all. Well, I tried to find the end of the merch line. That was impossible.
Yeah. Thank you for the t-shirt. You didn't give me one.
Yeah. Paddle's got a t-shirt. I saw about in my area, meaning, so like if you, the side part, I saw about 20 dads.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're fun.
Yeah, they do. Dads did it up. They had on some sort of tay-tay thing, and you could tell they didn't want to. But, they played along. And I think the girls were like, I'm going to be embarrassed to be with you if you don't do it. And Tay-Tay says, we should never go with people that don't make us feel good.
True.
The amount of confidence. Right now, you're giving me bad feelings, and I don't tolerate that because Taylor said we don't have to tolerate that. And if you would listen to album 14B, you would know that this is how that goes, Dad.
They played your favorite song.
They did play my favorite song. I don't even know the name of it. Rebecca went up on the southbound train. It was sunny. Last Remaining Dynasty, because that's a true story. You guys, if you like that song, we'll put it in the show notes. So this lady from St. Louis, all true story, I don't know if she got on a train. I don't know how she got to Holiday House. Where's her Holiday House? It's on the East Coast, like New Hampshire, Rhode Island. And she married an heir to the Standard Oil fortune. And I Wikipedia'd this, not within a long amount of time, he died, the man that she married. And then she got all the money. And all the locals were saying, if it's in the song, what a shame that it was wasted on her, just this chick from St. Louis. And then she hosted crazy gay fabulous parties with all the gay guys from New York would come down. Yep. And so these parties went on, and then the neighbors hated her even more. Well, anyway, eventually she dies. And then at the end of the song, Taylor goes, and that house was bought by me. And she bought it. Yep. It's amazing.
Yep.
So good for her. Good for young people. I'm glad my Stevie Idol isn't quite this expensive. It's called Holiday House, the song? No, the house is called Holiday House. Yes, I know.
Here's the address.
Well, there's a video on Instagram of somebody going over it with a drone. It's enormous.
We are going here.
You can't go there. It's Taylor's house.
Oh, here it is. Yeah. Wow.
You can't go there. She owns it.
I know. We'll figure it out.
Are you going to be the weirdo that tries to show up at the front door and gets a poison dart through your skull by security?
I might.
Well, a friend of mine in St. Louis, I won't say her last name, begins with an H if you're listening, a long, long time ago in college, drove right up to the Judd's front door and knocked. Because back then, that she went down to Franklin and she went to the courthouse and said, "Can you tell me where the Judds live?" And the lady goes, "Well, can't tell you, but I'll draw you a map." And she drew her a map. And then my southern Missouri crazy friend drove right up to the front door, and she Winona is her queen, and Winona wasn't home, but Ashley answered. I'm like, nobody shot you or. And Heidi's like, no, they didn't care. Ashley talked to me for a while, but I wasn't interested in what she had to say. And I'm like, wow, Ashley did. Yeah, and then they left the property. And while they were driving that way and had to leave because they were going to get in trouble or something by their parents, Winona drove by in a convertible heading back home.
Wonderful.
Note to Judds. I have friends that are that crazy. Maybe get some security going. Just saying. My favorite part of the night was, well, I had a few. Her opening, I do judge a lot on openings. Mm-hmm. Stevie's is very old school, and I appreciate the fact of continuity. Yeah. She always comes out to Outside the Rain, which is one of my favorite songs. It was never a hit. It wasn't a big hit. It was on Belladonna. But it just goes, bam, 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 and then you see Stevie, and you know the world is right. Stevie's still alive. Everything is fine. I don't care what's happening in your personal life that may be a disaster or whatever.
Where you black out.
And then the Stevie blackout happens, and it all goes into that.
Stevie amnesia.
Yeah, I've never had Stevie amnesia. I had Led Zeppelin amnesia because for the first time in my life, when I was like probably 19, I smoked pot because everybody told me it was fine, and I fell asleep and I never went in. And they left me in the car like a dumb dog. They're like, Kath, you're just, yeah. You're not coming? I'm like, I'm so tired.
Bye-bye.
That's probably the worst behaved I've ever been. But I couldn't believe either they just left me. Why, what else are you going to do with me? I guess I'd have left me too in the car. But back then, nobody thought about anything like that. They left the windows open. Good enough. Yeah, they left me a pack of cigs. I was fine. I liked Taylor's opening because there's a countdown clock. This giant clock with Roman numerals comes up. And it starts with 2 minutes. And I mean, the frenzy and then when it got like below 10, stadium shaking, the children are crying. They're crying like the Beatles. That's the only thing I could think of. I thought about Michael Jackson. I'm like, no, because there were no merch tents 2 days before he got there.
So
people, these people, they're crying, they're screaming at the little young girls' voices, even in their 20s. They're so high pitched. I'm surprised it didn't like blow decimal system, sound systems out. But to experience that, I've never experienced anything like that in my life. No. 5, 4, 3. I've seen other people try, but it doesn't. Now, the countdown clock.
I was high-fiving.
It was whoever thought of that. That was super creative and super dramatic and awesome. Yeah. I loved it when she sang my favorite song, because it's about Last Great American Dynasty, because it's about a lady from St. Louis. Plus, it's just a good song, and the way she tells the story is really good. She's a very good writer, and I say that like just from a distance. A lot of the things she's writing about, I don't care about.
Oh!
Well, she wears high heels, I wear sneakers.
That's an old song.
I know, but she's speaking to the people her own age.
Tay is growing up.
She is growing up.
Yeah, that's an old song.
I know it's an old song.
Yes.
But it resonates with the children that weren't popular. That's what's good about it. Because they were the ones that weren't the prom queen or the whatever. Right. It's like Lady Gaga, she calls her fans little monsters. Yeah. She attracted all the super left field people who are even left of like more out there.
The furries.
Furries, people, people on the edges. Mm-hmm. Not bad edges, just the edges. Yeah. Let's put it that way.
You got your Cosmo.
I got my Cosmo after the show because thank God, we made it into the bar, and the bartender, who I had tipped very well earlier, was still there. I felt bad for that. But I thought, I'll tip you super great again. And he could have said no. They were technically closing. But we got in by the skin of our heels, our feet, and
You met a new friend.
I mean, the production value, the lights, and I don't even know, like, comedy doesn't have all that. I don't know. For a special, we do, like crazy lighting and crazy this and crazy that. But for regular nights, no, it's just a spotlight, and that's it.
Who helped us get over there? Who helped us figure out how to get there? It was Jessica.
Oh, well, the concierge at the hotel with all the info was great, and then
Jessica.
her name is Jessica. After I talked for a while, she's like, "Why do I know this lady?" And then she was like, "I think I know you." And then I said, "Well, blah blah. You probably know me because of this." And then she's like, "Oh, you're my mom's favorite comedian." And I said, "Okay, well then we should make your mom a video."
Her mom is French.
Yeah, and so I made her mom a video. And anyway, I got in. I'm trying to think if there was any other favorite parts. The one opener that I got in time for was good. I don't know what I was listening to though. Truth be told,
There was a band.
there's like 2 openers.
Yeah.
The whole place opens at 5:30. And it's...
Tay went out at 7:30.
She went out at 7:30, and it went to 11. She went to 11:45. Yeah. I mean, I can't even... Could I talk for 2 hours? Sure.
You'd be bored with yourself.
Well, I'd be so bored by the sound of my own voice. But I'm saying that doesn't involve moving. Like, whenever I go backstage at shows and there's showers and all these towels, I'm like, who is working this hard? You should get your money back. Dax, my drummer friend, he needs his shower. But, like, comics, we're just like, it'll say, do you want towels? You want what? If I need towels, you need to take me to an emergency room. Something weird has happened. No, I'm just going to go out there and talk. But the lighting, the thing, there was pyrotechnics, there was
glitter.
videos, there was glitter. The what?
Confetti.
Oh, the confetti. Yeah. A lot of people are doing that now, though. She needs to think of something different.
No, she doesn't.
Yeah, she does. No, that confetti should have little notes. That confetti should say shit.
Like fortune cookies?
Like, yeah, I love you, whatever. See you next decade.
Adele's did.
Adele's had writing on it.
Remember there was pictures.
Pictures, something.
You brought me some.
But Adele is in a 4,800 seater. Taylor's got 73,000 pieces of confetti. It might get a little pricey to do my idea. Okay, at the meeting, I'm officially...
There was no t-shirt gun.
No, she didn't have a t-shirt gun if she's too fancy for that.
Yeah.
Tay-Tay's got too much going on. The costume changes, she dives into the stage and then swims up to the front. I mean, I gotta say, I'm glad I went. I've never seen anything like it.
What do you rate it out of 5?
Oh, it's a 5 out of 5. And I don't know how all these young people got this money, because I heard a lot of them say they worked for it. Not that, some rich person, meaning their parents.
Their parents bought.
But this is that's about my review of it. But I'm going to tell you what world leaders are saying, trying to get Tay-Tay to come.
Okay.
Yeah, this is her geopolitical era, because she's in one town alone. It could go up to 50 million she'll bring in for the weekend.
It's crazy.
It's an economy. What makes a country relevant on the world stage? Its geopolitical standing, GPD, military prowess. Right now, it feels like the number one sign of global clout is whether Taylor Swift is coming to town. This is Thailand. In 2014, she canceled her sold-out show in Bangkok after a military coup forced out the civilian government, and she has yet to return to Thailand. Pita Lim Ja Orarat, I don't know, who is hoping to be the country's next prime minister after his pro-democracy party emerged. He tweeted at Taylor Swift and urged her to visit. Hey, Taylor, big fan of yours. This is a guy running for prime minister. By the way, Thailand is back on track to be fully democratic after you had to cancel last time due to that coup. Oh, yeah, whoa. Look at you, not performing through a coup, asshole. He said, do come and I'll sing Lavender Haze with you. Okay.
Good job.
She hasn't announced any Canadian dates, Paddles.
Justin's upset.
It's very sad.
Yeah.
Because they are our neighbors. I think you should make an effort.
Yeah, but it's a pain in the
But I also know that it's a pain in the ass with the border and all that. I've experienced all of it. Justin needed to present her with a package.
Justin needed to meet her at the border.
He needed to fly to Nashville and get backstage at the Bridgestone and present her with, I will meet you at the border. You will have no problems. Well, he didn't do that.
No, he shouldn't.
He pleaded politely, I know places in Canada would love to have you, and they would. Well, Justin, make it happen. Don't just send weird notes. Australia, she's going to visit Melbourne and Sydney next February, but this tour goes on till August of 2024.
I'm already on the website.
She's going to Melbourne and Sydney next February, but politicians in other parts of the country weren't pleased with the fact that she's not doing a full Australia tour. I'm asking you, I'm begging you, I'm pleading with you. I'll get down on my knees if I have to. Please come to Queensland. A member of Parliament and former House Speaker Andrew Wallace, and in an interview with ABC Australia, there are so many Swiftie fans in Queensland, and I'm one of them. Then somebody from Perth freaked out. We need the Eras World Tour to come to Perth. The Swifties of Perth the electorate back it. Okay. Chile, if you will. Chile, if you're on the news. Chilean President Gabriel Boric, who once kept a picture of Swift in his pocket, has mentioned that his favorite album of hers is said in June that he wrote to ask that she include it in her Latin American tour. She has plans to go to Mexico, Argentina, and Brazil. One day she'll listen to the Chilean Swifties, and I have no doubt she'll come to Chile. Hopefully, sometimes in the next 3 years. The economic impact has been so crazy. They estimated that the U.S. dates could be responsible for a $5 billion surge in the U.S. economy. Air New Zealand is already adding a slate of new flights to its schedule, so Kiwi Swifties can fly to Australia.
Great.
Yep.
Great.
There's many reasons beyond money that you want it your thing. It's a cultural juggernaut that simply hosting shows the city has bragging rights in its own news cycle, which you do.
True. Yeah.
This is the other thing. Like, every kid in there had a phone, and she allowed everything.
Yeah.
And then the whole week it's brilliant.
TikTok on steroids.
Let your children do your press for you.
Yeah.
They'll do it.
Yeah.
That pop-up shop, by the way, was known to all of those people by one TikTok video.
Wow.
Yeah, that's how the word got out where it was. All it takes is one TikTok video.
I just had a beer in my hand and saw a sign.
Paddles had beer and saw a sign. And then I saw a line and went, oh, no. Bob will do it. Bob, me and Clark are going to go get a hamburger. Politicians have temporarily renamed their city when she's there. In New Jersey's case, they have a new state sandwich in her honor. That's what it says. I don't know. I have to ask.
Figure that out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want one.
Swiftie is a relatively non-divisive and a universally beloved celebrity, making it easier for politicians, except Marsha Blackburn. If you don't know, there's a senator from Tennessee named Marsha Blackburn. If you're on Twitter or Instagram stuff, people are constantly making fun of her. And I am not a fan of Marsha's at all. No. And neither is Tay-Tay. No. And in her documentary, she was going to come out against her. And her dad said, why do you have to do this? You might lose 50% of your fan base. You can't tell somebody that age that. They just go, I don't care.
Right.
I think what you don't seem to get.
She's the Antichrist.
Yeah. So other than that, she hasn't spoken out against any particular politician.
No.
But then
Marsha hates women and gays.
Well,
that's half of Tay-Tay's people.
Right. Marsha doesn't vote because she voted against there's something about domestic things against women, and one of them was stalking. And in the documentary, Taylor goes, stalking dad, meaning that's me.
Yeah.
Out of all the people we're talking about, I'm the one with the crazy stalker. Anyway, so it makes it easy for politicians to celebrate her and simultaneously impress her army of fans, even pleading with Swift to generate headlines. I can only think of the Beatles. Can you guys think of anybody else? I went through them all. The Rolling Stones, the biggest people on earth. Michael Jackson.
Yeah. It was amazing. We'll never see anything like it this lifetime.
No. I think if she did it again, she has to wait. Give it 3-4 years. And she did it again, it would happen again. She's not going to lose these people. No. Like, there's certain comics, I won't mention names, comedians that we all go, okay, it's popular now because it's this thing, but this is for a time and a space, and it will go away. And those people do go away because there's something. Tay-Tay this ain't going away. No. These same 20-year-olds will be 50 buying tickets going, well, when I was 20, I spent $1,100. now the tickets are $3,900, and they're gonna go.
Look at all my bracelets.
Yeah. I love that some kid sat here with these beads and made John Mayer sucks, but then put a smiley face to diffuse the negativity of this bracelet. Exactly. People my age would not have felt the need to put the smiley face on. Nope. No, go ahead. Here's some negativity coming at you.
That's an extra 39 cents.
Enjoy. All right, termites. That was just for the Tay-Tay fans or people that were curious what it's all about. That's what it's a feeling of inclusivity and empowerment, if you will. I felt included. They were nice to me. I'm old enough to be their mom. And they were all friendly and nice, polite fans, smart fans, creative. They all looked, their outfits were amazing.
I have 9 new Instagram friends.
You have 9 new Instagram friends.
Yeah,
Isn't that nice,
they're all
Paddles?
under the age of 30.
I gained 100 just by posting a video. And I'm sure I said to Bob, I go, some of these Swiftie kids are going to be disappointed when they're like, oh my God, this lady has Taylor videos. And then like, I'm going to run out and then it's just right back to baby cat. And they're going to be like, oh, or it's me somewhere eating a sandwich on the road. Yeah, drinking on an airplane. And they're going to be like, yeah, she's not so fun anymore. She was fun and then she's not.
She's not fun.
Yeah.
No.
And they don't all talk like that. I know people have said, you make it sound like we all talk like that. I'm just doing it because it's silly. Anyway, well worth the money.
Thank you. It was so fun.
Yep.
Thanks
to Bob and Clark.
Yay.
They made Valiant, and everybody's flight was on time, which was amazing.
Yep.
And
We'll be back in
good on you, Denver. Cheers.
Back in Denver in November.
Cheers to the bartender at the back bar at Sam's Diner. And Allen's my favorite Irish pub in Denver.
They all know your name, by the way.
I know.
And they don't know who you are. They just know you're Kathleen.
They just know I'm Kathleen. Yeah. Well, John Allen, it's at the Irish pub. I've been going there since I worked the Comedy Works downtown in Denver, and we'd have 2 shows and 1 show. I went every night. Yeah. Even when I walked in, the lady goes, "You're the lady from the back." They're all real Irish people.
From the back.
And I said, "Oh, those nights." She goes, "The back." I go, "The way back," because I'm not going to say that maybe we stayed past we should have, but John owns the bar.
Right.
We locked it.
Yeah. Nobody paid for anything?
Well, one time, then I'll just say this and leave. John, well, I shouldn't say that because it's a political thing, but we disagreed on some things, and he's from Ireland, Irish, I mean, for real. And we had probably 100 pints. I don't even know. But the Guinness, you're never drunk. No. And I go, okay, I'm ready to go home now. He's like, nah, 2 more pints, we haven't solved the world economic problems. I'm like, oh my God, John, we're not going to solve them. We're not smart enough to even be talking about this shit.
Is coming up.
Yeah. We're going to solve it when I'm in jail because I'm walking drunk home. All right, termites. Hope you enjoyed that. I just thought I should share it because it's a big deal and not everybody gets to go, and I'm fortunate enough that I got asked to go. And here's my sweatshirt.
Thanks for taking me.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Bye, Swifties. Bye, non-Swifties. Bye, everybody.
Bye, termites.
Bye, termites.